Hey guys, it's Verns here, back with my round 15 review. Now, there's mixed feelings about this round because, well, the first thing we'll start off with the negative is that we only fielded 21 players because of Parish being out and us having no emergency. The good news is we still went up in the ranks. So we popped out at 2,454 with 21 players. It's a little bit disappointing in the sense that just imagine the damage that could have been done with 22. But look, we'll take what we got. It was a week that could have been very negative for us considering that, and ended up in the positives. Parish was unfortunately out, which really sucked. As I mentioned, though, there wasn't really anyone I wanted to move him to. Even if we moved him to like a Brayshaw or something like that, they only dropped like an 80. Yes, it's 80 extra points I could have had, but I do want Parish in the team. So, I mean, I'm really hoping Parish gets up this week. That would be cool. I kind of want to see what happened to Jack Steele's price now that he came back. If he ends up in range and Parish is still out, maybe we just make the cheeky switch. Because without the emergency cover, it's just copping a 0 every week. So, something I may be looking at. But yeah, pretty good overall. Went up 367. Not many places. 4,035 overall. And this is why I said I do like the team. I mean, with 21 players and we still moved up in the ranks, it's showing that the team's good. I think we didn't fire on all cylinders. We had Parker go out with a concussion, I believe, to Zach Jones. I'm pretty sure he was out of the game. I didn't see this game. I just saw the highlight of Parker getting absolutely nailed by Zach Jones. So I don't even know when that happened, but yeah, that was really unfortunate. Heaney had a down game. Lipinski, honestly, was on track for like a bloody 40 and then turned on in the second half, as he sort of does. I don't know. He's playing a lot of forward. Pies got up for the 5th week in a row. Feeling awesome. 7th place. That's great. Defense, short. Slowly ticking away. Honestly, someone I would love to flip as well, just considering how underperforming they are. But with only 4 trades left, I don't think we have the luxury to be flipping players right now. But yeah, we'll jump into it, have a bit of a look. As you all know, I got the video out late last week, and we went over a lot of things, so I'm just going to go through it nice and quickly. We can see Sinclair had a down game, Crisp with only the 80, the Shorts with 84, Heaney 59, Lipinski 74, and Parker 75. So 6 down performers this week, and we still popped the 2350 with 21 players. I can't say that enough. That's pretty mental. We also messed up the captaincy to an extent. We had Laird the last 2 weeks, and then he was going into North this week, which you'd think, why wouldn't I do it? But I just kind of lost faith with the last 2 weeks. He popped out with like a 114 and a 117, and I was like, ugh, I kind of want more. But yeah, that should have been the week that I stuck it on him, apparently. So unfortunately, he missed out on Lard's captain score, but he still dropped the 156. A very nice score. Oliver, obviously, with the 140 was a very nice score. We had Stewart's 161, so we had some really big scores in here. Witt's 148. So we had a lot of great scores to make up for these down scores, and that's obviously the case considering how well we performed. As I said, I love the team overall. Dawson is actually going off this half of this, second half of the season is what I mean. He's just been popping off since he sort of locked down that backline role more than trying to play up on the ball. Incredible, intercept marker he is, and then just such a deadly kick. And then he does push up to get the shot on goals as well. He sort of does what Rich and Short used to do, where they're the defensive players that they look for the handoff and get the goal. Dawson doesn't really get the handoff and the kick from long. It's more or less you just spot him up because he's just such a deadly kick. As we looked at as well, Stewart with the 161, he just popped off as well. Someone I would have loved to have put the VC on and taken a risk with, but decided against it. I decided to play it more safe this week, you could say, with going the Neil and the McRae, which is a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, I thought Stewart would be good into Tigers, but he was someone that, considering I wanted to put the VC on Neil or Oliver, obviously chose the wrong one there, I would have to straight see him, so I didn't take the risk there either. Hewitt 104, that's cool. As we went over, Oliver, Laird, amazing. Neil 111, didn't take that VC. We banked the McRae 123 as captain, what's not bad. Parish out, which really hurt. Clark didn't play, so I also put the emergency on Stevens in case they got up. I didn't know who the emergency subs were for those games, so I just sort of threw them on there thinking, if they end up being the emergency and they get on and score a 20 or 30, that's 20 or 30 points I would have on top. Which, really unfortunate, actually, because I do participate in one of Shorty's Supercoach's leagues, and I actually lost this week by 1 point, which was really unfortunate. That would have been cool just to get up. I lost a few leagues by whiskers, so that was unfortunate. Especially, as I said, once again, running the 21 players. I can't reiterate that enough. I ran 21 players, and look at how well it went. It just shows how good this team has come together. Miller, the 101. Jelly, the 115. Cripps, the 95. I'd love to get Cripps up to like a steal, but once again, I'm not going to be flipping like a Cripps or a short, these underperforming premiums, when I have 4 trades left. They need to be saved for these injury occasions. We saw it at the end of last year with Stewart as well, what he got injured. I don't know if it was the last week or last fortnight. I think it was last fortnight, so he missed the last 2 games, and then we were able to flip him to, I think, Crisp, and he really helped push us through because Crisp had like a massive last 2 games as well. Wits 148, and this is what I talked about in my last video. I felt like his run was really good heading into the final, like the end of the season, which is crazy because everyone talked about how good his run was early. Like the dominoes really just fell down for Wits this year. They really just got absolutely kissed on the dick with the lineup he got, with the rucks he got to face, and just how well all of that went. Darcy 117. Darcy is someone I would love to throw the captaincy on this week because they have Port, meaning he's up against Jeremy Finlayson. But they're the last game of the week, so I'm not going to be putting the captaincy on Darcy. Speaking of which, Darcy Cameron popped off as well, but look, he will keep popping off right up until Grundy is back, and trading him the Wits, technically it netted us the points that we got last week, as much as it's only like a 60, Cameron wouldn't have got that. I guess it's only the difference between the 45 and the 60, really, so it's only 15 extra points. But then he did outperform Cameron by about 20 this week, so overall he's been a net gain of points. I did like Wits in the team. Now, Bontempelli, massive game, 136. Will Brodie, 129. Dunkley, 110. Insane. So, look, that was the team. That was how he performed. It was actually an amazing week for all of my, for the premiums that went off, they really went off. It was just so unfortunate we had a few underperforming. As I said, there's a few players I'd love to flip. Lipinski is one of them. Cripps is one of them. Short is one of them. We just don't have the trades for it. If anything, we're going to be looking to hopefully... I want Clark to play more so then I can make an upgrade to get, as I mentioned, a swingman, some sort of Liberatore or something for my forward backline. Sorry, my forward midfield, but... he's not playing, he's not earning cash, so we're not really getting these swingmen. We also don't have the money in the bank to make any sort of flip upgrades. We can't go to Doherty, we can't go to a Steele, we can't go to a Liberatore, because that would mean an extra 100k, meaning I'd have to do a 1 up, 1 down, and we just don't have the trades for that. Sure, if we have 4 trades with 2 weeks left, sure, I'll do a 1 up, 1 down, something like that, but we've got how many weeks left in the season? 7 or 8, something nutty like that. Yeah, 7 weeks left. I can't. In 7 weeks, I can't afford to lose a trade. If someone got injured every week from now out, I would be down 3 trades. The Parish situation, super unfortunate that we brought him in, he gets the 40, and then he tanks 2 weeks off. He better not be off for the 3rd, or that'll make me really annoyed. But we'll go over the captaincies for this week. For those that haven't finished their teams as well, just looking at my team, there's some very clear outliers there. Obviously... Stewart has been unbelievable. If you've got the money for Stewart, he's come down in price. He's going to start going back up after this 161. Jump on him this week if you don't have him and you need a 6th defender. Dawson, he's on the massive rise with how he's been playing, but he's got an elevated price because he's been playing so well. So I think Stewart would be the biggest hit to get. If you need one more defender, you got to jump on Stewart. He's got North this week, if anything. I'm honestly considering that right there. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to reload that real quickly, team. I am so sorry that just happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going to happen, but it scared me. So I just got out of it. I don't know. Panic button. We're jumping back in now. Where are we at? Team. As you saw as well in my draft league, I had a draw, which was kind of cool. I once again had Parish on the field for that one because I wasn't paying attention either, so could have easily won that one. But where were we at? So yeah, Stewart, I think, I at this point of the season, there's no way you need more than one defender. If you don't have Stewart, get on Stewart. If you do have Stewart, then yeah, there's other options. Dawson, as I said, is a great one, but he's so expensive. 600k, I don't know if I'd be jumping on that. Doherty's been doing really well too, but he's going to be an elevated price too. I don't know how much Doherty is, but let's just type in Doc. Yeah, pretty elevated there as well, so it's quite expensive. It's hard to get on those players, and for the cheaper sort of players, look, Sinclair's obviously very expensive. I think everyone has Hewitt. I think Crisp would be... He's pretty cheap, actually, for what he has done. So he's not a bad one to get on. But I think there's probably other options there. We'll take a look at it soon. Midfield, obviously, just any of these midfielders is great. Maybe except Cripps. I wouldn't get Cripps. I wouldn't go... I don't mind Jelly. Unfortunately, he hasn't brought me the dividends that he had to everyone else before I brought him in. But I think Mills is another good option here. Walsh, Brayshaw. Like any of these guys, Walsh, Brayshaw, Mills, all good options. It's probably better if I honestly look at the players in this sense. So, I know we sort of went over it, but I guess this is more for everyone else, what you're looking at. Elevated price, hard to get on. Elevated price, hard to get on. Hewitt Houston is a bit of a trigger for me and for many others, so a lot of us avoid him. But look, he's been performing extremely well this season. He's 6th overall in total points. He had a great week this week, so he's probably going to have a small break even right now. Let's see, break even 111, but he's got a good flow in his cycle now, right? Yeah, he's 76, will push out soon enough, but so not a bad pick. Bailey Dale, not a bad pick. Rich has really picked it up recently. He's been going nuts. Yeah, 3-round average, 5-round average. He's looking insane. Yeah, I would generally look at Rich as well. I think they're the best ones to be getting on. Stewart, probably number 1 priority for me. Rich is pretty cool number 2 for his price. Andy B is hard to look past too with the way he's been playing, but yeah, maybe you could be looking at potentially Houston, Dale. Andy B is just a hard one to grab. I personally wouldn't do the Andy B. I think I'd be looking, Stewart, Rich. These guys are elevated price. If you have the money for them, go for them. I would feel more comfortable with Crisp over these two, but that's just me personally. Feel free to obviously go for what you want. And at the end of the day, look at the ownership as well. You can go for a big pod there if you'd like. I mean, that's a huge one with Bailey Dale. Houston, not so much, but still pretty cool. Pretty big one with Rich as well. Then we jump into the midfielders here. Who are we looking at? Look, obviously, you're going to be paying up for midfielders. It's as simple as that. The best midfielders are super expensive. It's just how it is. Oliver's just too expensive right now to be grabbing, so, I mean... Obviously, you'd love to grab him, but he's just so expensive. McRae's at a pretty cheap price. Could definitely look at that. I feel like everyone should have him. Neil, everyone should probably have him. Mills, bit of a down game again, so his break-even's probably going to be a bit low. I mean, if you have other positions to fill, you could probably wait a week or 2 on Mills and bring him in after you finish your back line or your forward or your rucks, somewhere else, and then bring Mills in maybe next week or the week after. Then again, we're looking at points here. That's to save cash, I guess, because he's going to drop in cash. If cash isn't a problem for you, you have the cash. Just bring Mills in. He's honestly a superstar. And he'd be really cheap, really cheap. Look at that price. That's an insane price. But we're looking at total points here. If we actually look at averages, Andy B falls kind of off the map. Down to 11th, not as good. Keys falls off the map. That's why they're cheap, because their actual averages aren't the top of the top. Rory Laird, insanely insane. So as I said, cash, not a problem. I still wouldn't go Oliver, because unless it's your very last upgrade and you don't have Oliver and you have the cash for it, grab Oliver. If you need other upgrades to still happen, I probably wouldn't go for Oliver, because you probably need to save a bit more cash. Laird is insane. Kind of missed the boat with him already, but if you still can, feel free to jump on him. As I said, Mills isn't as the other one I'd probably be looking at. I mean, look, that's just me personally. I think number 1 out of every one of these players, obviously Oliver, I think, and then probably Neil second. But you should probably have him. Then you could probably look at a Laird. McRae and Mills probably neck and neck here, because McRae is a bit more reliable, I'd say. So I play McRae, then Mills. And look, I'm kind of just naming them in order from 1 down, but I would honestly avoid Took. I'm not happy with how he's performed this year. I wouldn't avoid him. He's still a fucking superstar. Don't get me wrong. But, I just think with how inconsistent he's been, I would much rather you go one of these top 5 over him. Walsh's position is a bit awkward because he starts in the forward and then runs up into the ground, but I think I'd put Walsh over Took, honestly. And if Parish can actually get back on his feet, Parish is an absolute fucking gun. So, yeah, definitely put him up there. And then we sort of talked about it, but forward line is pretty simple. I mean, dogs. That's mental to see. Supercoach top 6 in the forward line, 5 of them are dogs. That is insane. Wow. Wow, that's nuts. Fucking Taylor Walker. Out here with another great season. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Oh, Chalor, you broke it. If you're up there with the team, you could have... You and the boys. You ruined it. But yeah, obviously, any of these guys, obviously English had the concussion, should be back. I would jump on English. Very expensive, but 100% worth it. Look at that average at the end of the day. Bailey Smith, is he too reckless? Too loose? The man's been missing way too many games. He's missed 4 this season already. That's crazy. And he's going to miss another 1 as well, so that is crazy. I would, yeah, I guess you can grab him because he is definitely performing, but I would probably look at these top 3 over him. Maybe even Liberatore over him, because at the end of the day, yes, Liber isn't quite putting out the average he is, but Liber's been really good recently. Yeah, look at that 3-round average. He's been really, really good recently. Someone, as I said, I would love in my team. I just don't have the funds for it. And at the end of the day, Liber doesn't miss games. Liber plays games, so he should be fine. I would be more relied on Liber to play the rest of the season than Bailey Smith, and he could potentially put out a better average. So that's honestly how I feel about that. Parker, we need to get a read on him, find out what happened, if he's generally going to be missing. Hopefully it's just the 1 week with the concussion. It would really suck to be longer than that. I mean, it's pretty easy for Parker owners. You just go straight to Liber. Simple. If you have the cash to go up to English, easy. My situation, completely different though, because I only have 3K in the bank, and I can't make that jump. It's so unfortunate. God damn it, Caniglio, stop. Seeing Caniglio aggravates me. 570K, even if you didn't want to keep him, he's just a free flip to any other premium, but he is a premium. God damn it. Look, overall, we made mistakes this season, guys. I told you I needed to make this quick, and I've talked way too long as it is. Mistakes, missing Caniglio. But look, team at the end of the day, it's looking good. I'm really happy with it. I think we're going to have a good run to the end of the year. If Parish can actually get up and play next week, if Parker plays next week, if we actually have everyone play next week, I'm going to be very comfortable in us continuing to jump up the ladder. And I generally think top 2K is in grasp. We just got to have a little bit of luck. But yeah, that's it, guys. I guess we'll check out, captains real quick. I did talk about potentially Stewart as a C. That's really ballsy, because who are you going to put... unless you're going Stewart V into, oh my goodness, Darcy, that is looking a mental. But at the same time, we have Brisbane versus Dogs on the Thursday, and I do very much feel like there's plenty of options for who could go off here, like Bont, Dunkley, McRae, Neal. Any of those could easily go off. I probably wouldn't do English. I just feel like Rucks don't score that well against Brisbane. Outside of that, I mean, if you want to put a Cripps, feel free to. I wouldn't do the Parish. This is a great game. Oliver, oh my goodness. So I think everyone remembers it, but historically, Oliver drops 200 on Adelaide. It's just what he does. Where is Adelaide's history against him? Oh, here we go. 93, 204, 205. That is mental. Obviously, the last time they played, he only dropped the 93, but 2 times before that, he has dropped 200 plus on them. This is a different Adelaide team, but I don't think you can pass that up. It's got to be a C on the Oliver. If not, C on Oliver or the VC. That's the problem here. Oliver's, it feels so good that it would almost feel terrible to take any score before Oliver comes in. So I feel like you have to put the VC on Oliver. Hopefully you've got a loop. Do I have a loop? Yeah, I can use Jay Williams as a loop. Awesome, that works well for me. But yeah, I mean, we know this man can drop a 200. Even if you're getting someone dropping a 130, it's scary knowing what Oliver can do. So I think easy VC on the Oliver. You just have to take the punt. There's a good chance it'll probably just pay off. Then you can easily bank it. Who do we have playing after Oliver? This is the Saturday Arvo, so you could go You could go Stewart into North if you want. You could go Wits into Collingwood. That's not a bad one. Maybe not actually. Rucks haven't gone too... they've gone okay. This game, I don't actually have anyone I'd ping. Yeah, I don't know about this game either. And then we have Darcy to finish it off. So that's the only risk there, that I guess the best, most reliable players that you have in the team are all in these games. Laird's in the game, Oliver's in the game. We have McRae, Neil playing before them. Even Dawson has been insane. Bonds, Dunkley before them. So the only real ones after there are Stewart and Darcy. So yeah, I think that's as simple as it is, guys. We put the V on Oliver and then maybe the C on Stewart or Darcy. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to go Darcy just because they don't have the ruck. I generally think he could be setting up for a massive score himself. But yeah, we're going to take the punt. I reckon we just punt the Darcy. V Oliver, C the Darcy. There's not going to be a trades video this week because I'm not doing trades. So just a heads up, that won't be happening. Maybe my VC and C options change, but I think we just bank these in. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate you liking, subscribing, just watching the videos. Always appreciated. I hope the mic sounded nice and good today. Obviously, it's right next to my mouth, and it sort of has been the whole video. I really did get what you guys mean, sort of watching it last week. When my mouth was up to that mic, I was very clear, and obviously, anytime I sort of looked away, it just didn't work. So hopefully, it was a lot better for everyone today. So I hope to see you in the next one. Best of luck, everyone. Peace. Later. Love you.